Do you want to play better golf? Of course you do. Well, here are 3 easy ways to do it. 1. Open your smartphone and look for the podcast app. 2. Open the podcast app and search Breaking Par with Bernard Sheridan. 3. Subscribe and never miss an episode of great golf instructor interviews from around the world. A new guest every week, like David Ledbetter, Brian Manzella, Dr. Sashow McKenzie, James Siekman, just to name a few. Hear their insight as they deliver their wisdom of the game. Take control of your game. Subscribe today. Your game will thank you for it.
Hi, I'm Bernard Sheridan. Welcome back to Par Breakers Golf Academy. And as a special video this week, I got a request via email to take a look at the swing of the 2-time major winner this year, Jordan Spieth. And we're going to look at him face on, and there's a few things that we're going to notice in this swing that are really not what you think is happening or what is happening in your swing. So I have our 3 posts drawn. Now red is the front post. So that's right at the left hip socket and the left shoulder, or basically the left armpit. Pelvic is on the green line. That's center. And we can see that at address, or just before, as Jordan starts to take the ball back, or club back a little bit here, that his head is just slightly behind that line, just a hair. And the blue line is going to represent his left hip socket, left shoulder, right hip socket, right shoulder or armpit. So as Jordan moves back, his shoulders begin to rotate and arms are extending. And as he gets towards the top, we're seeing how his head is really, really staying on that green line. Now, what that tells us at the top, naturally for Jordan, is that he is a center post player, which means that when he goes to the top, he does keep his head still. Now, here's something very significant that I want you to notice. As we see the downswing, we're going to start to see a lateral shift of lower body, and we're seeing head moving closer to that right, or to that red post, until the center of his head is right on that post. Now, right now is where his arm, his left arm, is parallel to the ground. So here's where we're going to start to see some rising of the hips. Okay, so let's just draw a little line on that, because that's how he's going to create his verticals and or ground force to create more power in his swing. So we're going to see that belt rise, and we're going to see that head stay there. But here's what I want you to notice. Head starts to move back as he gets in. Okay, so he's going to still swing down on this ball, because if we look at where his hands are definitely ahead of that club face. We're seeing some forward shaft lean here. Draw a post right on the back of that hand. That hand is definitely well ahead, so he is hitting down. Now, here's the thing. He's maintaining his posture, okay? But what I want you to notice is that left armpit is still on that red line through impact. Now, as he comes through and continues to rotate, he's still maintaining that posture. And then as he hinges around to a finish, a little bit too far on that, gets his head closer to that front heel. So he's hitting a fairly high ball here, okay? If he wanted to get that ball a little bit lower, his head would actually be, instead of the center of his head being on that green post, it would be on that red post. Okay, so he's definitely trying to get a little bit higher launch angle here, and has that classic arched back finish. Now, for the average player, this is going to be difficult to sink that lower and upper body to do that. So what I suggest is for you to look at the last video that I just did on the latest tour player who won, and some of the things of how his head is moving a little bit more towards the ball, his upper body at this point. The other one that you can look at is weight shift or swing connection drill, and both of those will give you a better idea as to how to get your upper and lower body moving together. So if you're doing kind of what Jordan is doing here, then you're going to have some inconsistencies in that shot. But significantly, before we finish this, what I just want you to notice is how much more his hip is rose above that white line at the finish, because here he is when his arm is parallel to the ground. And then as he starts to let that club come in, everything rises with those hips and then continues to rise fairly high here to a finish. So some great stuff. We wish Jordan all the luck in the world in the PGA Championship. And of course, we wish all the guys out there luck. So until we meet again next week, my name's Bernard Sheridan. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comment box. We'd be happy to answer them. And if you need help with your game, just email me at parbreakers@gmail.com. Until we meet again, do your best to keep it in the short grass.